Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan. I'm pretty excited today because if you've spent any time on the channel, you know that I really like to try craft whiskey and familiarize myself with new distillers out there. Today I'm diving into Bull Run, and they're not necessarily new. I think they've been around since 2010, but they're new to me. And I think that their spirits are starting to really branch outside of the Pacific Northwest region. I've heard people talking about how good their stuff is. I've never had any of their stuff before, though. So shout out to Black Ace in our Discord who helped hook me up with some of their whiskey. Ryan, why are you wearing a jacket? I have my window wide open. It's a beautiful fall day in West Michigan. The leaves are changing. There's a slight breeze. And it's just too good to be cooped up inside and not have some of that fresh air, so I'm enjoying that. But anyways, Bull Run, I've already got these poured. I'm excited to give these a shot. So Bull Run was started by a guy named Lee Medoff, who started out, he's an Oregon native. So they're out of Portland, Oregon. He started out as a brewer. He then went into the wine business. So he's worked at a winery, and then eventually started his own distillery in the form of Bull Run. So their goal really is to show off what you can do with, barley from the Pacific Northwest, right? And that's kind of like their whole vibe. They do have bourbons and ryes. My understanding, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but just from my reading, it looks like they do almost all of their own distilling, but when there were some regulation changes, they had to do a little bit of sourcing in the meantime while they sort of updated their operations so that they can meet those new standards. But otherwise, almost everything that you would have from them would be their own distillate. And I'm pretty sure everything I have here today is their own juice. So what am I trying today? We've got the 8-year American Single Malt, finished in Madeira casks, and I do really love their labeling. From what I'm reading, they're really proud of their barrel finishing process and the work that they do in the finishing department. So I like that they're very transparent here. It says 44 months in Madeira casks. So that's a long time to be finishing. I mean, a lot of times we try stuff that's been finished for 3 months in a wine cask of some kind before it's bottled. So 44 months is 3.5 years or whatever. That's impressive. So that's the first one we'll try. After that, we've got the Bull Run 15-year American whiskey. And is it Nocino or Nocino finish? No. Nocino. I will admit, I'm not familiar with that term. Nocino, Italian for of the walnut, is a dark, sticky Italian liqueur made by macerating unripe green walnuts in a spirit, often a neutral grain spirit. It has a rich, earthy flavor and hints of maple, tobacco, and nuttiness. Well, neat. I have never heard of that liqueur before in my life, and I've done a fair bit of cocktail mixing. Cool. You learn something new every day. And finally, we've got, oh, by the way, I should say that one is 46 months in the Nocino. I'm embarrassing myself. And then finally, the Bull Run American Whiskey 15-year Cabernet finish. 16 months in the cab finish. Very cool. I'm excited to familiarize myself with their profile. Now, I will note that it says American whiskey, not bourbon. They say that the American whiskey that they put out there is predominantly a corn spirit with some barley in it. And you might be like, well, isn't that just bourbon? They don't use new charred oak barrels to age their American whiskey. They use used bourbon barrels. So it cannot be called bourbon per the standards of identity because bourbon must be aged in new charred oak barrels. So that's the difference there. That's why it's called American whiskey and not bourbon whiskey. But we'll start here with their American Single Malt. Like I said, this is the Madeira cask finish, 3.5 years in that Madeira cask, and it's 101.3 proof. Madeira, by the way, fortified Portuguese wine. Okay. Oh, interesting. First thing I get on the nose, this is actually like mixed tree nuts. It reminds me a lot of trail mix. Like you'd have mixed nuts and then dehydrated red fruits in there like cranberries and raisins. I love craisins. This is so good. And it's a little bit figgy too. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting this. I was kind of expecting some more traditional American single malt notes, and this does not feel very traditional. And the last thing I would say is like fresh baked rye bread with like the oats on the top, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Very interesting and appealing. Well, let's try it. Cheers. Whoa. Mega funky. A lot of funk on this. Like, kind of like that musty old wine. Like if you were to go in a really old wine cellar and there's cobwebs and dust on the bottles and you're kind of swiping it off, you know what I'm saying? Kind of gives that kind of an impression. Get a little bit of peanut butter on the mid palate and kind of like an unflavored oatmeal sort of a quality on the finish. Like if you were just to have just regular oats, like some steel cut oats, mix some milk in there and heat it up over the stove. It's kind of like that. It is pretty viscous too. Like we got these ginormous runs coming down the glass. Big drips just running down. Can you see that? See all those? And it's only 101.3 proof. But it's mega oily. What do I think about that? Do I like that? I don't know. It's definitely unique. It's distinct. It is unlike a lot of Pacific Northwest American single malts I've had before. And it carries a ton of funk. I have no idea. Some sips I'm like, I kind of get down with that. And then other sips I'm like, I don't think I get down with that. I really don't. It's confusing. Maybe I sit on that for a minute. It's definitely funky. Weird. Okay. Bull Run 15-year American whiskey. This is the Nocino finish. I gotta stop. 46 months in the Nocino. It's 126 proof. Ooh, a much brighter nose. I know they said a walnut kind of a liqueur, but this actually gives me pistachio, like fresh pistachio vibes. Pistachios are dangerous. Like, if I eat one, I have to continue eating until there are no more pistachios. So if you put 5 pistachios in front of me, I will eat 5 pistachios. If you put an entire bag of pistachios in front of me, someone will have to take the bag away from me, or I will eat the entire bag of pistachios. I'm kind of an old man when it comes to ice cream flavors too, because I love pistachio ice cream. You know what I mean? My kids are getting the weird new, like, rainbow unicorn poo is actually a flavor at one of the ice cream places we go to. I'm like, I'm kind of an old fuddy-duddy. I like butter pecan, I like pistachio. The one we like to go to actually has a honey and lavender ice cream that is dynamite. Anyways, pistachios on the nose of this one. A little bit of a honey thing going on too, like not just your pure sticky honey, but more like the honey syrups I make for cocktails where you dilute it a little bit so it's easier to mix with. But yeah, honey and pistachios. I really like that nose. Let's try it. Cheers. Are you kidding me? That's straight up a dessert whiskey right there. Oh, that's so yummy. A little bit of nutmeg. That pistachio note coming through big and bold. Love that note. The finish is this long, drawn out, like it makes me think of a nutty cake of some kind. Like a fruit cake or a carrot cake that has the walnut bits inside of it. I think carrot cake is a really good descriptor for this. Very carrot cakey on the finish. Okay, that's fantastic. That is really, really yummy. I definitely like this one. The first one, kind of confusing to me. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I'll revisit it. This one, there's no confusion. This is straight up delicious. Nocino, huh? Wild. Let's hit the last one. This is Bull Run American Whiskey, 15 years old. Cabernet finish. 16 months in a cab cask at 125.4 proof. So over a year in a Cabernet cask. Usually you don't do long finishes in Cabernet casks, just because Cabernet is such a bold, tangy wine. So I don't think it takes that much to get a lot of influence. This one, not very viscous at all. Very thin. First thing I get on the nose is like grape Kool-Aid. Almost like an artificial grape kind of a note going on here. Or like, those freeze pops that we had as kids. We have them in our house now because we have kids. And in the summer, we go through a lot of freeze pops. But the purple ones, it's like that. Otherwise, not hyper complex in the nose. You get a little bit of like a raisin vibe. A very gentle oak presence. And almost like this briny sea salt caramel. Well, let's try it. Cheers. And that's all wine cask. Tastes like corn whiskey with a ton of wine influence. Tangy grape. A little bit of like an oak peppery bite. Like fresh cracked black peppercorn. The previous one didn't really drink its proof. It was crushable, even though it was 126 proof. This at 125, you get the proof. You get that wave of spice and cracked pepper, but a ton of tangy grape for sure. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of like a dry tannic grape finish that I'm not getting on it. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong with it. It really is just, it's all wine cask right there. It's tasty. Okay, so where does that leave us? What are our impressions? Let's go down the line here. The Bull Run, 8-year American single malt, 44 months in a Madeira cask. This one's kind of weird. I don't think I care for it. I think I'm going to fall off the log and say, I don't think that one's for me. But I'm sure there are people, like I think of some of the stuff that's been sent in by, like Looter in our Discord, Craig. He might get down with this, I think. Sentinel, aka John. John might get down with this one. Personal palate, I'm not sure that I vibe with that. I don't think I do. But this 15-year American whiskey in the Nocino cask finish, 46 months in a walnut liqueur cask, that's dynamite. Pistachios and carrot cake. Super crushable, very yummy, very distinct, has a lot of character, has a lot of flavor. I get down with that for sure. And finally, the Cabernet cask finish American whiskey. Nothing wrong with it, but I feel like I've had it before, even though I haven't had it before. Just kind of like another Cabernet cask finish corn whiskey. Pretty good. The clear winner for me is the Nocino, if that wasn't abundantly clear by now. All in all, I think this is pretty good stuff. Impressive age statements, impressive finishes, impressive age on the finishes themselves. You can clearly tell that they are committed to quality and not trying to rush a product out the door, because it has 15 years of aging on the initial aging. You've got, in some cases, 3.5 even additional years in a finishing cask of some kind. So you can tell they care about their craft, and I really appreciate that. I really respect that. And that Nocino is just dynamite. Love that stuff. I tip my hat to you, Bull Run. Thank you so much, Black Ace, for putting these on my desk for me. Appreciate it. If you've ever had any Bull Run, let me know in the comments section what you thought, what your impressions were, and which bottle you had from them specifically. And I'd love to know if you shared some of my same sentiments about what they've got going on there. But on that note, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into the video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by leaving a like in the video, because that's the best free way to support the content right here on YouTube, and consider subscribing for even more whiskey content. With that, I say cheers, my friends. May you live richly and get better with age, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.